is a tax paid on all goods and services and remitted by the seller of the goods or provider of the service to the government. 5% VAT is added to the total cost of goods and services in Nigeria, and when remitted to government, is used for funding development. If you have not, look out for the Federal Inland Revenue Engagement and Enlightenment Tax Team's feet as they visit your area soon. They will educate you and help you register to pay VAT. You can also visit the FIRS office nearest to you to register to pay VAT. The VAT you pay will be used by government to develop our transport infrastructure like roads and railway lines, to continually improve our educational sector by building more schools and upgrading existing ones, and to provide adequate security and a better quality of life for us all. Pay your VAT. Make contribution to the development of Nigeria. It pays to pay your tax. This message is from the Federal Inland Revenue Service. Have you paid VAT? Yes, VAT, Value Added Tax. VAT is a tax paid on all goods and services and remitted by the seller of the goods or provider of the service to the government. 5% VAT is added to the total cost of goods and services in Nigeria, and when remitted to government, is used for funding development. If you have not, look out for the Federal Inland Revenue Engagement and Enlightenment Tax Team's feet as they visit your area soon. They will educate you and help you register to pay VAT. You can also visit the FIRS office nearest to you to register to pay VAT. The VAT you pay will be used by government to develop our transport infrastructure like roads and railway lines, to continually improve our educational sector by building more schools and upgrading existing ones, and to provide adequate security and a better quality of life for us all. Pay your VAT. Make contribution to the development of Nigeria. It pays to pay your tax. This message is from the Federal Inland Revenue Service. Have you paid VAT? Yes, VAT, Value Added Tax. VAT is a tax paid on all goods and services and remitted by the seller of the goods or provider of the service to the government. 5% VAT is added to the total cost of goods and services in Nigeria. When remitted to government, is used for funding development. If you have not, look out for the Federal Inland Revenue Engagement and Enlightenment Tax Team's feet as they visit your area soon. They will educate you and help you register to pay VAT. You can also visit the FIRS office nearest to you to register to pay VAT. The VAT you pay will be used by government to develop our transport infrastructure like roads and railway lines, to continually improve our educational sector by building more schools and upgrading existing ones, and to provide adequate security and a better quality of life for us all. Pay your VAT. Make contribution to the development of Nigeria. It pays to pay your tax. This message is from the Federal Inland Revenue Service. Have you paid VAT? Yes, VAT, Value Added Tax. VAT is a tax paid on all goods and services and limited by the seller of the goods or provider of the service to the government. 5% VAT is added to the total cost of goods and services in Nigeria, and when remitted to government, is used for funding development. If you have not, look out for the Federal Inland Revenue Engagement and Enlightenment Tax Team's feet as they visit your area soon. They will educate you and help you register to pay VAT. You can also visit the FIRS office nearest to you to register to pay VAT. The VAT you pay will be used by government to develop our transport infrastructure like roads and railway lines, to continually improve our educational sector by building more schools and upgrading existing ones, and to provide adequate security and a better quality of life for us all. Pay your VAT. Make contribution to the development of Nigeria. It pays to pay your tax. This message is from the Federal Inland Revenue Service. Have you paid VAT? Yes, VAT, Value Added Tax. VAT is a tax paid on all goods and services, limited by the seller of the goods or provider of the service to the government. 5% VAT is added to the total cost of goods and services in Nigeria, and when remitted to government, is used for funding development. If you have not, look out for the Federal Inland Revenue Engagement and Enlightenment Tax Team's feet as they visit your area soon. They will educate you and help you register to pay VAT. You can also visit the FIRS office nearest to you to register to pay VAT. The VAT you pay will be used by government to develop our transport infrastructure like roads and railway lines, to continually improve our educational sector by building more schools and upgrading existing ones, and to provide adequate security and a better quality of life for us all. Pay your VAT. Make contribution to the development of Nigeria. It pays to pay your tax. This message is from the Federal Inland Revenue Service. Have you paid VAT? Yes, VAT, Value
that produce quality products under one big industry to join hands together.
In the whole of Southeast, that is the safest. I welcome you to Enugu State. 13 local governments, the population, 2 million out of the population are ships ready to work.
Due to its position as one of the areas of invest in agriculture,
can be used to produce cement. They are all welcome for commercial purposes, tourism. Manufacturers that produce quality products under one big industry to join hands together.
In the whole of Southeast, that is the safest. I welcome you to Enugu State. 13 local governments, the population, 2 million out of the population are ships ready to work.
Due to its position as one of the areas of invest in agriculture,
can be used to produce cement. They are all welcome for commercial purposes, tourism. Manufacturers that produce quality products under one big industry to join hands together.
In the whole of Southeast, that is the safest. I welcome you to Enugu State. 13 local governments, the population, 2 million out of the population are ships ready to work.
Due to its position as one of the areas of invest in agriculture,
can be used to produce cement. They are all welcome for commercial purposes, tourism.
Tax. VAT is a tax paid on all goods and services and remitted by the seller of the goods or provider of the service to the government. 5% VAT is added to the total cost of goods and services in Nigeria, and when remitted to government is used for funding development. If you have not, look out for the Federal Inland Revenue Engagement and Enlightenment Tax Team's feet as they visit your area soon. They will educate you and help you register to pay VAT. You can also visit the FIRS office nearest to you to register to pay VAT. The VAT you pay will be used by government to develop our transport infrastructure like roads and railway lines, to continually improve our educational sector by building more schools and upgrading existing ones, and to provide adequate security and a better quality of life for us all. Pay your VAT. Make contributions to the development of Nigeria. It pays to pay your tax. This message is from the Federal Inland Revenue Service. Have you paid VAT? Yes, VAT. Value Added Tax. VAT is a tax paid on all goods and services and remitted by the seller of the goods or provider of the service to the government. 5% VAT is added to the total cost of goods and services in Nigeria, and when remitted to government is used for funding development. If you have not, look out for the Federal Inland Revenue Engagement and Enlightenment Tax Team's feet as they visit your area soon. They will educate you and help you register to pay VAT. You can also visit the FIRS office nearest to you to register to pay VAT. The VAT you pay will be used by government to develop our transport infrastructure like roads and railway lines, to continually improve our educational sector by building more schools and upgrading existing ones, and to provide adequate security and a better quality of life for us all. Pay your VAT. Make contribution to the development of Nigeria. It pays to pay your tax. This message is from the Federal Inland
13 local governments, the population, 2 million out of the population are shoots ready to work.
Due to its position as key areas of invest in agriculture,
Can be used to produce cement. They are all welcome for commercial purposes, tourism.
Incongruent with the current under the leadership of our I want to seize this opportunity
etc. manufacturers that produce quality products under one big industry to join hands together.
In the whole of Southeast, that is the safest. I welcome you to Enugu State. 13 local governments, the population, 2 million out of the population are shoots ready to work.
due to its position as key areas of invest in agriculture,
Can be used to produce cement. They are all welcome for commercial purposes, tourism.
the world from Nigeria, from the nation, under the unbelievable to ensure that this new city is sustained.
etc. manufacturers that produce quality products under one big industry to join hands together.
In the whole of Southeast, that is the safest. I welcome you to Enugu State. 13 local governments, the population, 2 million out of the population are shoots ready to work.
due to its position as key areas of invest in agriculture,
Can be used to produce cement. They are all welcome for commercial purposes, tourism.
Have you paid VAT? Yes, VAT, Value Added Tax. VAT is a tax paid on all goods and services and remitted by the seller of the goods or provider of the service to the government. 5% VAT is added to the total cost of goods and services in Nigeria, and when remitted to government is used for funding development. If you have not, look out for the Federal Inland Revenue Engagement and Enlightenment Tax Team's feet as they visit your area soon. They will educate you and help you register to pay VAT. You can also visit the FIRS office nearest to you to register to pay VAT. The VAT you pay will be used by government to develop our transport infrastructure like roads and railway lines, to continually improve our educational sector by building more schools and upgrading existing ones, and to provide adequate security and a better quality of life for us all. Pay your VAT. Make contribution to the development of Nigeria. It pays to pay your tax. This message is from the Federal Inland Revenue Service. Have you paid VAT?
The Labor Room Reality TV Show.
The first thing you have to put in your mind is who you are, where you come from. And once you do that, you take ownership of your country. Don't think that it's for either our fathers or our mothers. It actually belongs to you. So once you've actually accepted that this is your own country and you will develop it, innovation is your keyword. What do you have to do that is new? But remembering the past. So that would help. But I'm very, very proud of what you're doing. And I've gotten the message. And what you're trying to create at the same time is reviving what was and bringing it back. And bringing it back in a different way that your own kids will benefit from it as well. And putting up structures that will not take them 40 years back again. Right, so I am very, very proud. My passion is Upper. I still hold them very dearly because they're very special people. I mean, you know, you go into a state and you don't know anybody, and nobody knows you, you know, and you begin to think that maybe you're lost. But they managed to embrace me wholeheartedly, and they did everything possible to make me comfortable. And so, till date, I owe them a lot, and I'm still trying to find out ways to continue to support them.
37 intelligent Nigerian youths will lead over 200 million viewers into the labor room. For 60 days in one mansion, they must pay the price to deliver to the world a brand new super nation. The Labor Room Reality TV Show. The Labor Room Reality TV Show.
I see great hope in these youths, in these governors here. I see people who are ready and able to make a difference in Nigeria. In fact, some of them were sharing experiences of how disappointed they were because they couldn't even get through to their state governors, to their representatives at the assembly with brilliant ideas that they had. Ideas that could create jobs for youths like them. You know, I mean, these are people who already have ideas. And if we give them the chance, I'm glad they have the chance already. I wouldn't use the word give them the chance. I'm glad they have this exposure. And with this chance they are given, you know, with this opportunity, I can assure you that their lives will never be the same. The states where they come from will never be the same because they are going to make a big change. Human trafficking is very evil. A lot of people are being trafficked both internally and externally. If you see something, please say something. There are lots of young girls who are used as domestic slaves. They are not meant to be working as slaves. They are meant to be in schools. If you see anything like that, please report to NAPTIP. It's good to engage with the labor room. It has been a very exciting one for me. I was so blessed. I learned a lot from the governors in the house. I can assure you that this experience is something that I would remember for a long time. Please partner with the labor room. It's a project worth partnering with. Thank you very much.
37 intelligent Nigerian youths will lead over 200 million viewers into the labor room. For 60 days in one mansion, they must pay the price to deliver to the world a brand new super nation. The Labor Room Reality TV Show.
Rights, company profiles and all that for oil industries. That continued, and that was how South Atlantic, his company, started. It started with me. I designed the first logo for South Atlantic. Now, over about 4 or 5 years, Alhaji called me and said, Bola, you have the potential of being a successful man. I need you to start something on your own. I said, no, Alhaji, how can I start on my own? I don't even have my... He said, no, you don't need money to start. With the little stipend I've given to you, go and register a company. Get your safety manual. You know what I told you to do about my own sales. Do your own, do this, do that. And I got my first company registered in Mobile. I was so young. The only difference between me and a small boy was that I was very hairy, so I had hairs all over and they thought I was a matured man. But I had the boldness because he gave me the opportunity to represent him in various organizations. And that's how I started. Now, At the age of 20, I made my first 1 million.
Yes, my man. Let's go and finish up our project. Let me get this thing down. Let's have this class one. Okay, this class. All right.
Kettle? Are you looking for the kettle?
I know you guys are connected to the music. Please, if you can use the library, I would really appreciate it so that I can do it better. Thank you very much. Today is not Christmas. Christmas, I remember.
That is the sixth one coming. This one is away in the manger.
No, but even without it.
The other one is so
salty ships come sailing in on Christmas Day, on Christmas Eve. Salty ships come sailing in on Christmas Day in the morning. God was in the ships for free on Christmas Day, on Christmas Eve. God was in the ships for free on Christmas Day in the morning. Savior Christ and His baby on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. Savior Christ and His baby on Christmas Day in the morning. Who is the week on Christmas Day on outside. They do to Bethlehem on Christmas Day in the morning. And all the angels in heaven shall sing on Christmas Day.
Look at that.
Let's
go. I'm the class. And you're
on Christmas Day in the morning. Salty ships come sailing in on Christmas Day. Are you serious? Salty ships come sailing on Christmas Day in the morning. God was in the ships for free on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. God was in the ships for free on Christmas Day in the morning. A Savior Christ and His baby on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. Savior Christ and His baby on Christmas Day in the morning. Who is the lead to Bethlehem on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day.
I told those that are
Who is the lead to Bethlehem on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. And all the angels in heaven shall sing. Okay, so no, we have to we're having a class. Okay, we're waiting for them to come.
No, we're starting now.
You guys can come. Well, you is down there too.
I saw the shoes. Not the something.
I didn't tell you.
ICT is for this summer. I am finished. I've called it something is my son.
So we go and tell them that we have a meeting on the street. They will come.
ICT is for. I saw 3 sheets. Come see this.
Oh yeah, but God, watch. I have got.
Hi. There's a meeting on the street now. Are you serious?
They said the message came that we should come to the
Yes,
for now, let's just finish this one. I just want to learn.
The thing is, Fayoshe was doing this stuff up. I'm having a class. If you can do it. You can continue. It's not a problem. You can do this up now. It won't make sense if I'm starting. I'm starting now, irrespective of whatever message. Do you get? Until they give us instruction to do something. You understand? So if you guys can just Fayoshe wants to play the flute. There are enough rules.
Right now.
And you can do it up there. That's what I'm saying. You can go.
Or just come down.
Sure. Spokesperson. They'll bring down any information.
No. Come down. Come to the lounge first.
That would be good and share.
Good and share. Mine is not good.
Wait, who collected my books from there?
I didn't pick up your books. I'm waiting for us.
Inside the room.
Inside the room.
Why? When you left it there, I thought. Okay, good morning guys. Good morning, Your Excellencies.
taking that opportunity before the next instruction.
The screen did not say anything. He wanted to, people would not want to come to the No, it's alright. You can. Yes, we're doing now. Huh? Which lunch? Lunch is not ready. Lunch is not ready.
Okay. One one.
Okay. Good morning. My name is Onyeko Godwin Nwachukwuneke, the Lord Governor for Imo State, and we're doing ICT is part of the solution. That is ICT is sports. It's just an opportunity for us to inform or teach people who need to understand more about computer, or people who need to update their knowledge, or people who need certain kind of re-information about ICT. We're starting from this because I want to assume everyone here doesn't know about the computer. You've not seen a computer before. You might have seen, but you don't understand what the computer is. Because sometimes we have knowledge in fragments. We understand computer, what it is in fragments, and it might affect how we treat the computer sometimes. So it's good once in a while that you get the formal. Some of us started learning the computer without any formal training. You just started using the computer. But if you do a formal training, there's a curriculum, there's a process that you can follow. So we're starting today from the very, very basics. Of course, we know what ICT is. That is information, communication, technology. I will go across with that. And it is part of the solution. If Nigeria must attain a full potential, ICT must really be explored. If Nigeria must get to that point where the entire world would envy us, the entire world will want to watch us, we must make good use of ICT. ICT is in the 21st century. ICT is everything. Why? How much does Nigeria make from crude oil? Who has an idea? How much is from crude oil annually? How much? Billions of dollars. Okay. Well, okay, no one has an idea. Okay, now let me continue. Nigeria makes so much money from crude oil. I don't even know the figure. But why am I saying this? Is that United States of America makes about $715 billion. Not the entire money they make from ICT. This is money made from what is called the gig economy. The gig economy is the economy of independent workers. When you are done with school, you don't go look for a job. You sit down and you use your skill to work. Freelancing, thank you, that's another word for the gig economy. And in fact, there are 53% of people that are done with school, workers in America, they freelance. A lot of people that go to school, they don't go to school with the intention of coming to look for a job. They go to school with the intention of coming out to freelance. Now, can you see the difference between going to school for a job and going to school for freelancing? In Nigeria here, let me not say 90% or even 80% of our students go to school to be able to get certificates to go and work. What that means is that you can bribe your way through school. It means you can do whatever it takes to get the certificate. Then when you are out, you look for a job. And if the job does not exist, you hold your certificate and you become jobless. But when we change our mindsets to going to school because you want to come out and freelance, it means you want to come out and bring something to the table. It means you want to come out and be a part of the solution to solve the problem. What that means is when you are in school, you will try to get one skill at least. Because you know that is the most important thing. Because without skill, you won't be relevant in the gig economy. So if the only thing you will know how to do is to write articles in English, when you finish knowing how to write articles, you come out there, you know that you can offer that services. A lot of people have accused our youth as being unemployable. It's a challenge for me. I don't see it as an insult. I see it as a challenge for young people to rise up and prove them wrong. So without digressing further, I'll go straight. You already know the importance of ICT and computer. We'll just talk about what a computer is. Definition is here. There are different kinds of definition. People can come up with different definition. I adjusted this definition, added some things that is relevant. You understand? From here we have, someone can read this.
A computer is an electronic device which accepts data as inputs through
the input system.
Processing to store the data through the processing and storage system and gives out
results.
And gives out results and outputs through the output system.
Now, there are basic things you must understand about computer, which is underlined here. That, you know, a lot of people in school cram what a computer is. Knowing what a computer is not about cramming. If I ask somebody what is a computer is an electronic device, it's cramming. If I ask you what is the meaning, literally, the meaning of these things, what are the things you will see in an object or something, an arrangement, that will make you classify it as a computer? So as you can see, a computer is an electronic device which accepts or that accepts data as input through the input system, processes and stores this data through the processing and storage system, and gives out result as output through the output system. Now, to break this down, we're going to go straight to the first thing on the line here, which is what is called electronic. Electronic, of course. Who can tell me the meaning of electronic? You know that. Just someone just tell us what electronic is.
Something that is powered by electricity.
Thank you very much. Something powered by electricity. It means that electricity can be AC or DC. As long as it's current, it is an electronic, something powered by electricity. It means if you see something that does not make use of anything related to current, there's no current, it means it's not to be classified as a computer. That's just it. So if you look at something and say, someone says, this is a computer. Computer is not just about the laptop you have, some wristwatch computer, you know, even glasses, you know, sometimes even, I've seen even the toilet. People program, yes, you understand, it makes use of electricity to do certain things. Now, that is what an electronic is, powered by electricity. What is a device? That's the next thing. You want to ask a question?
All computers are powered by electricity.
Yes.
There are all things that are powered by electricity in computers.
No. The first classification here, we said a computer is an electronic device. Now we said electronic. There are other things about a computer. So until something matches this definition, it's not a computer. So we know what electronic is. The next thing is, what is a device? That is the next thing. What is a device? Someone who's going to tell me what a device is?
Something designed.
Sorry, you gave me electricity. You gave me what electricity is. Someone should give me what a device is. What's a device? You are an electronic engineer, you know.
Something that uses an electronics for a purpose, like it's used for a common
something that uses electronic?
Yeah, for a common purpose.
Okay, you tried? Of what? Portability. Okay. Who else? Try. It's an interactive class. Let's learn and share knowledge. Okay. Okay, from Mark.
I think
yes.
A device is a setup that is made up of different coordinations.
Okay. Wow. Try. Can we clap for her? But there's something missing. Tell us what your device is.
Something designed to give outputs to.
Okay. Yeah. To try.
Produce to give a result.
To give results.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. You tried, but not good. What is a device? A device is any arrangement. Understand the language? Any arrangement that helps you to do something, to perform a particular function. Any arrangement whatsoever. See, if I bring this chair, this arrangement, it's helping me to do something. To achieve something is a device. If I want to touch this point, and I take this seat and climb on top of it and hold, it's a device. Any arrangement, not necessarily electronic. Say electricity, that is not. If a device is powered by electricity, that means there won't be need to say a computer is an electronic device. They will just say computer is a device. So a device is any arrangement. But this device now is not a computer. Because it doesn't qualify as what? An electronic. It doesn't need what? Current or power to work. You understand? So now a device is any arrangement whatsoever. A computer, if you open it, it has so many arrangements, so many components. According to Princess, different components, structures put together. But the only thing she was missing there is that it was designed to help you, to aid you to do something, perform something. So we're okay.
Under the device can also be defined as attachments.
Attachments. The key thing here in device is that it has one or two things attached or arranged together for a purpose, to to help you accomplish a task, to help you do something. You understand? Even an arrow, once you arrange it, it becomes a device. Whatever it is, as even the remote control, you bring things together to do a particular thing, it becomes a device. If you use electricity, it becomes an electronic device. So that is what an electronic device is. Okay, we're breaking it down. With this understanding, if someone asks you what is a computer, you won't just cram and say a computer is this. You know what you are saying because you understand what a computer is. Okay, a computer is an electronic device which accepts data. That's the next thing. What is data? What is data? Sorry, something that has not been processed. Information. Any other? Content. Okay. Same stuff. Okay. What is data? Data are, there are different definitions of data. But let me put it this way. Data are raw facts or information. If you say raw facts, not all data are raw facts. If you say information, some data, information is something you can understand more that has been processed. You understand? So whatever comes into the computer for the purpose of processing is data. You understand? So data are raw fact or information that is introduced into the computer, that gets into the computer for the purpose of processing. Raw fact or information. Now, when you finish processing this data and you bring it out as output and you take it to another computer, it's getting to that computer as what? As information. As data. When you finish processing, you bring it out again, put it into another computer, it's entering as data. So whatever it is, because at some point, when the first definition of computer I learned was that data are raw facts. So I began to ask questions, my mind was like, raw fact, but after processing, you are bringing it in again, how is it raw fact? So it depends on the processes you want the data to undertake. So a computer is an electronic device which accepts data. It means this device must be powered by electricity. It must be an arrangement designed to help you perform a particular task, and it must be able to do what? Accept data. For instance, let's say a grinding machine. You know this grinding machine they use for grinding corn, flour, and all those things? It's a device, isn't it? Is it an electronic device? Yes. It uses electricity. Yes. Does it accept inputs? Yes. Of course it accepts inputs. That's corn that you pour inside. That is the input. Okay? Now, they accept data as input. So it means that whatever is coming in is input. So what is input? Input is whatever you put into the computer for the purpose of what? Processing. That is what an input is. So input in a computer is data. Raw fact or information introduced to the computer for processing. Now, through what? The input system. So you can't say you know what a computer is if you don't know the input system. Channels through which data get into the computer. So now, that grinding engine again is our case study 1. A blender is case study 2. These are some of the, if we are taking this, it's not about theoretical. Yeah? I'll call some real life device that you can use. So that whenever you want to remember the definition of, you don't need to, as a teacher, when I teach, I don't expect students to give me the exact definition I give to them. I teach them to understand. When I ask them, they should tell me how to understand it, which is also correct. You don't have to tell somebody to give me quote word for word. Some people, their brain works differently. They will tell you what they understand, but they cannot quote the word. You won't tell them that they failed. Okay, so the input system of that grinding engine is that, you know it now, that container that you can pour data into. That's the input, yes, that is the input device. Now, mind the input system are channels. Input system is a concept, it's not a particular thing. It's a concept. These are channels through which data gets into the computer. Channels, there are so many input systems through which data get into the computer. So for that grinding engine, that rubber or whatever it is, that thing, or from the blender, that thing you open to put, is not an input system, it's an input device. Yes, it's not an input system, it's just a device. The system is a concept for channels. So many, you might have, for instance, a computer have more than one input device or input channel. But putting all of them together, it is impute system. So we're going to list out a couple of input systems in the computer. Please, someone, input system. Channels through which data get into the computer. Okay, one, USB, Universal Serial Bus. That's what USB means. USB means Universal Serial Bus. What is USB? Okay, maybe I will just be giving it as you see them. What is USB? It's a port. Universal Serial Port. Where you could actually put a USB device. There are different standards for USB device. USB 2.0, 3.0. It serves dual purpose, both for inputs and outputs. So you can take data into the computer through that. Another one, mouse. Yes. How is mouse an input? Mouse is your hand inside the computer. Without a mouse, only a very good computer professional would use. Some of us can, of course, still play around with it. Okay. Okay, I'm coming. I'll get to that point. I'll get to that. Let's say they're saying it for purpose of. I know we have kids watching us. Yeah, I know we have kids watching us. We have older people watching us that don't understand what the computer is. So we're not going to go too fast. You bear with them, of course, so that they too can be part of the solution. Now, that of the mouse, we all know what the mouse is. Mouse usually has a left click and a right click. Some mouse has the scrolling button at the middle, where you can use to scroll up and down. Some mouse even have an additional function. You understand? When you move the mouse, some of them, the old mouse uses a ball. You understand? You roll the ball. Sometimes the ball gets dust affect the ball. You have to remove it and clean. But the new mouse now has laser lights. It's light. And if you put the light, put it on glass, it's not going to work. What you need is something that is opaque. Is it opaque or what's it called? Opaque, yeah. So that light doesn't pass through. That's when it's going to work. It allows you to, if you are using CorelDRAW or any graphic design software, use the mouse to create it. So because you can use it to do something inside, to create something inside, it makes it an input device. You've talked about this.
Why does some computers prefer to use the mouse than the mouse that is laptop mouse?
Okay, good. Now it's if you are doing certain thing that if you're doing graphics or video editing and all that, that requires total control of your movement. Total control of your movement. If you're using a laptop, I can use a laptop. You can double click to hold, to click and hold. Double tap immediately and hold your hand there. You can move. But it is different from when you hold the device. You are totally in control. If you want to draw, if you want to draw, it's much easier. And if you are going to do so much work, it's more easier. You can relax holding the mouse than using the laptop. Even my own personal laptop, I use an external mouse because sometimes I want to do video editing. When I'm using maybe Adobe Premiere Pro or I'm using Corel Video Studio, I'll get to my timeline, pick something. I just need to adjust it a little bit. Sometimes if you are putting your hand on the laptop, it doesn't really go on very well. You understand? Then it talks about the scanner. How can you get a document? We wrote a letter the other time and to be sent to our cabinet member. There are different ways. Instead of spending that time to mail it, except if it's a certificate, something that they need to see the hard copy. If not, what does it take? We are done writing. They just scan it and send an email. The letter has been delivered. So to get an already designed document or a piece of paper into the computer, you can't type it on the keyboard, except you want to type only there. But if you want it as it is, you get a scanner and you place it on the scanner and you scan through it.
And you edit what you scan?
Yes, there are ways you can edit. There's this thing called there are different software like rediaries and a couple of software that can detect. But your font has to be clear enough, or your font has to be related to the list of fonts that software has on its database. That's the only way the software can recognize your handwriting.
What's the name of the software?
There's rediaries, there's OCRs. They call it, I think the category is OCR software. OCR. I think I've forgotten the name of some of those things. Oh my, I didn't come with anything. I had to bring all this out. So I'm coming to forget some of them. Then, okay. Yeah, floppy diskettes. Yeah, it's getting. You know why you wouldn't want to use it? It's just big and occupies space. I cannot store something very important. Yeah, 3.5, 4 points. Yeah, but you can still, but new computers now don't have provision for that.
Yes, I know.
But if you find one that has, you can still save data inside. But the data is not advisable because it won't last long as the other one will.
Yeah, I'm still understanding. If somebody writes like a letter with his hand from handwriting,
yes,
is this a software?
That is the software we're talking about. That now, yes. Okay, in computer we have what's called fonts. Anyone can create a font. How do you create fonts? We have alphabets. You can create fonts for English languages. You can create fonts for any other thing. You have alphabet A to Z. If you are sure of your handwriting, you follow the same pattern. Write A to Z in small, that's lowercase, small letters. Then write A to Z again in capital letters. Write 1 to 0, that's 9 and 0 in your handwriting. Write then some other symbols, write it in your handwriting. Then once you do that, it will be compiled as a font. Whenever the computer sees A and they set the font to be Suleiman's font, it will be